Hey guys, before we get into the good stuff, I just want to say thank you for clicking on this video and I hope you enjoy it. If by the end you did enjoy it, I encourage you to hit the subscribe, like, and the newly added free spaghetti button. That's so stupid. Also, go ahead and follow me on Twitter as well as joining the new Discord. It's the best way to interact with me, interact with the channel, getting updates of what I'm doing, and you guys can put your own input on stuff. It's a good time. Alright, monotonous stuff out of the way, let's get into it. Okay, so right off the bat, this video isn't really a guide to getting the Platinum Trophy in Kingdom Hearts 1, but I'm sure it'll no doubt help if that's what you're aiming to do. This video is more specifically my thoughts on my own journey and attempt to 100% Kingdom Hearts 1 and whatever bullshittery that might come with that. I'll be separating the trophies into 3 easy to digest categories, being the destination, on the way, and complete detour. And I'll get into what those mean as we go on into the video. I'm a little sick right now, so I think my voice sounds a little more low and a little less high-pitched like normal. So, sorry or not sorry, depending on how you feel about my normal voice. So, sit back, relax, and listen to me talk about the easy, the hard, and the unavoidable stupid things I had to go through Platinum Kingdom Hearts 1. So not including the Platinum Trophy, Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix, if that matters, has 55 trophies. And while I'm sure there's many games that exceed that number, 55 is undeniably on the high side in terms of trophies. I'm going to squeeze together as many as possible to save time while also being able to work them all in here. So let's start off with the first category, the destination. The destination is for trophies you'll obtain just by playing the game normally without any real added effort. By the time you reach your destination, being the end of the game, you're gonna have these trophies already. It's almost impossible to beat the game and not get these. So since I played through 2 other versions of KH1 on 2 other platforms, I know my way around the Keyblade. So my first time playing it on the PS4, it was just a normal playthrough on Proud mode. This got me the trophies Proud Player, Final Mix Master, and Novice Player for beating the game, and Where the Bell Tolls, The Rabbit Hole, Junior Hero, Member of the Tribe, Magic Lamp, Honest Soul, Master of the Seas, Pumpkin Prince, Pixie Dust, and End of the World for completing the various worlds that you have to do anyways. Well, I mean, a couple of those are optional, but just do them. That was a lot, but it knocked out 13 trophies going down to 42. A big chunk taken away, but still a poop ton more. Along the way, I grabbed some trophies here and there, like First Synthesis Customizer and Oath Keeper for getting the Oath Keeper. I wish there was a bigger chunk of trophies taken off from the destination, or at least the other 2 categories had less, but closing out this section, we have 39 trophies left to go. Great. The next section I'm categorizing is On the Way, and these are trophies that, assuming you're wanting to play more than just the base game and base story, you'll come across at some point. They're a hassle, but it doesn't feel that way because you're probably already going to do them anyways. So for example, if you wanted to make the ultimate weapon after you beat the game, something a decent amount of people would want to do, you'd have to synthesize everything else first to be able to synthesize the ultimate weapon, and would naturally get all the synthesis trophies. So depending on how you like to play your games and how much you like a given game, this category could be bigger or smaller from person to person. As for me, there were 3 main goals that I wanted to do in the game that the biggest chunk of trophies just fell naturally into. Crafting the ultimate weapon, completing the Coliseum trials, and beating every hidden boss. The ultimate weapon was no doubt the biggest pain in the ass. I just got into calls with friends and mindlessly grinded it out over the course of a couple days. Eventually, I turned into a genocidal maniac, looting all the dead bodies I had left to trail off for their money and mystery goos. Money spelled M-U-N-N-Y. Eventually, I got the Heartless Hunter Trophy, Rags to Riches Trophy, and the Treasure Hunter Trophy. That was only part of the grind. After hours of googling how to defeat specific special Heartless, why some enemies carry stones that don't match their affinity for any reason, and the best strategies to beat this thing, I eventually synthesized everything, obtaining Synthesis Novice, Synthesis Amateur, Synthesis Vet, and Synthesis Master, as well as the Ultimate Weapon. Wasn't worth it. Taking on the cups at the Coliseum isn't really anything too interesting, but it coincides with the rest of the bosses. I'd already gotten the first couple of trials for... Why'd I write trials? I'm writing a Danganronpa video. I had beaten the first couple of cups while just doing the main game, but I'll talk about them like I didn't. So after all the synthesis grind, doing the first few cups are pretty easy given my beefy Keyblade swinging arms and my big brain MP stats. So just do the cups and you should get Novice Hero, Artisan Hero, Heroes of the Coliseum, Coliseum Champion, Supreme Soloist, and Time Attacker. Easy peasy. From there, with my stacked stats, it was just kicking the hidden bosses' arses from that point on. Between the Clock Tower Phantom and Kurt Caesar, I prefer the latter significantly more. I think Kurt Caesar has a nice mix of testing your magic, / dodging / melee combat skills respectively, while the Clock Tower Phantom is just a redundant, spamming nonsense fight. Either way, Sandy Blade, Cloak, Shadow trophies, easy. The Ice Giant is one of my more favorite boss fights, so even though I struggled, the Frost Giant trophy was one of the more genuine, delightful trophies to get. Now, you guys can tell me how wrong I am in the comments, but I actually think the Sephiroth fight is easier than the Cloak figure fight, just because I feel like I can abuse weaknesses more with Sephiroth. That's just my own knowledge of the game. I'm not proud. Now, lastly, the final chunk of trophies was the out-of-the-way trophies. Things that were the biggest inconveniences that I would never, ever care to actually do, except for having to get the trophy. Half of this is taken up by the cricket that's chilling in my jacket when he's not being a pain in the ass. Honestly, Jiminy doesn't deserve all the hate I'm about to dish out on him, but that won't stop me from doing it. Completing Jiminy's journal wasn't particularly hard, but was more tedious and annoying than anything. It's a long-winded scavenger hunt that'll have you going world to world looking for the one blue trinity you missed, because they don't tell you what worlds they're in. It'll leave you with a frustrating controller in one hand and a KH Wiki guide in the other. The Dalmatians are the runner-up to the worst part of Jiminy's journal to fill out behind the Trinities. At least with the Dalmatians, you have the luxury of knowing which ones you're missing, but just knowing that you have to find 101 of these fuckers just makes it all the worse. I'd actually done this a decent bit earlier because I wanted Aroga, because that's how you get Aroga, right? But the details don't matter. It was awful nonetheless. I don't feel like listing all the trophies from Jiminy's journal, so yeah. Now, between the tediousness of Jiminy's trophies and the crap that I knew I was going to have to do later, I just took a break to take care of some of the other out-of-the-way trophies that honestly weren't too bad. Now, I could have done each of these separately on Proud difficulty to prove so to myself, but I felt cheap and lazy, so I did them all at once on beginner. I sped on the game without dying to net me the Speedster and Undefeated trophies, and since on beginner you start the game with good equipment, it doesn't count against the Unchanging Armor trophy neither for not changing your armor. I grabbed whatever shield and stuff I was missing, then finished up Pooh's World, which is always a delight, despite me never wanting to do it. I was probably level 100 at this point too. The last part of this was the gummy ship missions. Oh my god. Whether you like the gummy ship or not, it's inarguable that the gummy ship missions in KH1 is the worst out of the bunch. I knew nothing about these missions and had never done one before in my life, so these are the trophies that I genuinely had to go out of my way for and learn new mechanics and stuff about the game. And it's stuff I never wanted to learn. Now, yeah, I could have looked up how to do some of these missions to make it easier in my life, but I don't feel like searching for too much, so I just struggled through it. This is just my thoughts, but it's bound to offend some people. I've seen streamers who just look up guides to hunt platinum trophies and they're like, oh, look how many platinum trophies I have. No. I try to give myself just 3 trophies to look up so it doesn't just feel cheap. What are we talking about? So getting the first 2 missions in any world is easy, but some of these third missions were just so redonkulous that I ended up doing the first 2 missions on a different world just so I can see if the third one was any less redonkulous. They rarely were. I can't remember which world I got the Ace Pilot trophy on, because to be honest, I got the platinum like a year ago. Then I had to collect every blueprint that I was never going to use, which took its own time, from talking to Geppetto more times than necessary, exploding space heartlets until I steal how they're made. I forget if I'm killing actual heartless or ships. I don't remember. They said in the first game, I don't remember. And doing more of those stupid third gummy ship missions for blueprints that make ships based off Final Fantasy characters because references. All in all, this was the worst part of the trial. In terms of practicality, it wasn't probably even that hard to do or manage, but it was just the last thing I wanted to do, so it made it all the worse. And that's why I saved it for last. I really wish I could wrap this up with a really cool trophy, but as it turned out, I had actually missed a Keyblade. Turns out that after getting all the base forms for all my spells, I never gave Merlin so much as a booty call, so I had to anticlimactically go back and talk to him just to obtain the Spellbinded Keyblade and get the Blade Master Keyblade, as well as the very fitting Kingdom Hearts Master trophy. Alright, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you like this new series I'm starting up. I have more games, obviously, that I've platted, from Danganronpa, obviously, to Celeste, the Resident Evil games. That's actually a big chunk of them. And more Kingdom Hearts games. So if this is something you guys want me to talk more about, I can do more trophies, and I'll go out of my way to plat more trophies for it. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to hit the like button, hit subscribe, do all that. It really does help. Even just a little comment that pops up on my phone saying Joe Schmo said no mo, it makes my day. Keep doing it, keep leaving the comments, keep sharing the love. Make sure to join the Discord, follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff, and yeah, peace. Have a good blessed day. Bye bye. Adios.